Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be about preventative maintenance on things that you may be keeping in the trunk of your vehicle or in the toolbox or anywhere that's going to be sitting for a long period of time. Two things that I'll be specifically talking about is zipper lubricant and a rubber conditioner slash UV spray protectant type of application. So one of the things that I keep in the trunk of my vehicle is one of these medical bags. I had a smaller one, and this thing I'd had it for years, and of course some of the buckles were starting to rust, which not too bad, but they still worked. The issue that I came into was some of the pouches on the inside, the zippers. One of the zippers had rusted shut and was not serviceable anymore. I had to actually cut the compartment open to be able to get anything out. So threw that bag away, had this one sitting in storage, and I decided to start filling it up, and I took some extra stuff I had laying around and fully packed this one on out to make a full-blown big old trauma kit here. So one of the things I noticed about this one, which I took the carry little shoulder strap off, and it has some light rusting on there. Nothing too terrible. I meant to do something about it last time I had it, but I forgot to do anything. This one's, it's got a little rust. Again, structurally, it's not doing anything, but over time, obviously, it will. And then on the inside here, which this is a relatively new bag. It's not brand new, but it is pretty new. So there shouldn't be any issues with the zippers themselves, but just the event that there are some issues, which I can kind of, it's hard to describe it, but I can feel the zippers being, well, that one, this one's not so bad. I can feel that zipper sticking some. So one thing that we can do to remedy that problem is using some zipper lubricant. Back in the day when I was a public safety diver, we used this Zipper Ease as a zipper lubricant from Trident diving equipment. We use this in all of our dive suits and wetsuits, and we would apply it to the zippers because we were not diving all the time in swimming pool conditions. We were diving in some pretty nasty stuff. Be a lot of stuff that could get caught up in the zipper, and we store the equipment for X amount of time or whatever. It could go months without being used, or it could be used day after day after day, whatever. But anytime we'd use our equipment and clean it, we'd use this zipper grease. Just to keep the zippers lubricated. I went ahead and ordered some of this, and I've been applying it to zippers here and there, especially for zippers that feel like they're sticking, which again, it's almost impossible to describe feeling on camera, but I can feel that this zipper is a little bit stiffer than this one. Like there's more resistance in this one. So basically all this is wax. When we did our dry suits, we would have them closed, and we would just take the wax, move this better in camera view, and we just run it along the top of the zipper there, get it down into the teeth of the zipper. I've also seen some techniques where people would take like parchment paper or whatever, like a little wax paper you could use to bake cookies and stuff with, and they would take that paper and they would rub it all onto the zipper teeth or whatever, and that was their solution for zippers that would hang up or stick or be a little bit more difficult to open. I have not tried that method. But it's enough of a thing where you can find results on it online, people doing it. This stick of grease right here, or this wax or whatever, it's like $5 off Amazon. It's not going to I can't talk. It's not going to break the bank. And as I said, I've gone through and I've been applying zipper grease to just random things that I get my hands on, mostly a lot of my bags that I got a hold of easily. We'll give it a few zips or fulls back and forth. Alright, and so right off the bat, it's very minute, but I can tell it's not as like I can't feel that I wouldn't call it a gritty feel, but it's not the same as it was a while ago before I put grease on there. So like this one, let's see here. So out of these, this one seems stiff too. So I'm just gonna go through and apply the wax, grease, whatever you wanna call it. I think it's technically a wax. Some people just call it a grease, I guess, because grease is just a normal name for a lubricant, but it's a wax. But the key is just to get the wax into the teeth of the zipper. Now, if you have like one of the teeth misaligned within your zipper, this is not going to fix that issue. You've got a broke zipper, and you have to either A, replace the equipment, or B, replace that zipper. On something like this, I'm not going to waste my time trying to replace the zipper on it. I'm just going to buy a new bag. But if it's, like a clothing item or whatever, it's like some old leather jacket from high school that you're hanging on to. Obviously a broken tooth on the zipper. You're not going to want to throw that jacket away just because the tooth is broken. And already I can feel a noticeable difference whenever I pull this. It doesn't have that tougher feel to it. And so the biggest thing that this does is just ensures that the zipper is going to function when it needs to function, because the bag that I had last time, one of the zippers had kind of basically fused shut. It would open, like I think I was able to get it to this point, and it wouldn't go any further, and I had to use a knife to cut into that compartment to get stuff out. In an emergency, that would have sucked. Someone would have had delayed medical care if I was having to cut into that compartment, and carefully cut in that compartment too, so that I'm not cutting things that's inside that compartment. It's a pretty simple process. I'm getting towards the end here from where I've been rubbing it. So all you gotta do, if I can get a hold of the paper without it slipping off of me. Well, once you get the wax on it, there you go. You just take the paper and peel it back, kind of like a crayon in a way. It's basically what this is. It's just one big crayon that you can't write with. Crayon, crown, or crayon. How do you guys pronounce marine food? I pronounce it crayon, but I've heard other people pronounce it crown or crown. Alright. pretty smooth. All right, so I'll move on from there. That's doing the zippers and everything with the zipper grease or zipper wax. Other stuff, so I've done this to a couple other things. I just neglected to do it to this one, and whenever I switched this shoulder strap out to the other bag, I meant to go do it, but I must have got sidetracked on something and wasn't thinking too clearly, because obviously I didn't do it. So for this, just simple gun oil is going to work. Gun oil, just like on your guns, helps with rusting issues. You can take that in there and you can rub it in. It's not going to help the rust that's already there, but hopefully it'll keep it from continuing to rust any further. That way the thing won't get to the point where there's a structural integrity issue with it. Right now it's just merely cosmetic, but the rusting can cause, once it gets to the one side, it can cause some discoloration with whatever it's attached to. So you can just go through and hit these points right there with the oil, rub it around, get a protecting coating on there. Had to use my remote on the barking dog. All right, so that's that. Another thing is this rubber conditioner. So this one is from 303. It's a UV protectant. We didn't have this exact bottle, but it was called a UV protector, and we used it on our dry suits to keep the neck and wrist seals in good condition, because over time, you keep a dry suit sitting in a bag somewhere for storage or whatever. That rubber can start to dry out a little bit, and this is what this was used for. Was just to keep the rubber from cracking or drying out and cracking and causing a sealing issue if we was diving or whatever. So you can, for example, this medical bag or whatever, let me grab a paper towel. I forgot to grab one of those. And I go to grab a paper towel, and we are completely out of paper towels, but I can grab this napkin. Something like this, you can just spray onto it, and this stethoscope, you can just coat the tube. And so before I start coating the rest of it, it still feels pretty good, elasticity to it. I can feel, I guess, some extra dryness right in here. Rest of it seems okay, but over time, keeping this bag stored in the trunk of the car, of course, the heat is going to have an effect on rubber components. So just having something like this rubber protectant spray, just put a coat of this on there, kind of condition the rubber, so to speak, keep it moist. So I can get some extra longevity out of this versus the rubber tube, completely failing in the next couple of years just from sitting in the trunk of the car. And so simple gun oil, some special protecting spray for rubber, and some zipper lubricant. Can be some pretty good, useful preventative maintenance tools to go through, especially if you keep you keep a medical bag in the trunk of the car all the time, you keep a go bag in the trunk of the car, a get home bag, whatever kind of bag that you keep in the trunk of the car. that's going to be back there for the duration of the time you have that car until you absolutely need it. That object is going to be going through lots of temperature changes. You know, it gets to a certain time of the year where it's super hot outside. Everything in the trunk of the car is going to be hot, and then overnight it could be to freezing, and then it starts warming up abruptly. So you have wide temperature changes. Some of the stuff inside the trunk of the car could have some sweating or something like that going on with it. So then over time, you know, it can start to rust here and there. The rubber and plastic takes a beating when it's in the heat. So putting some rubber protectant on rubber materials and putting a little bit of oil on metal components is going to go into keeping your things protected for a pretty good long period of time. And you could also use it for other things other than bags, of course. Certain, you know, different things you keep within the vehicle. You know, if you keep like binoculars or something in the trunk of the car and it's got little rubber eye gaskets around it, you can put some of this protectant stuff around the little eye seals and keep those fresh. That way they're not cracking over time. Other pieces of equipment, whatever is made out of rubber, you can put this stuff on. The gun oil, you can, you know, obviously put on any metal component that's going to be stored in the vehicle to give it a protective layer and keep it from rusting. But the key is you want to check your stuff. I mean, every once in a while. It's not like you gotta go check on your stuff in your trunk of your car once a week or anything. But you know, it should be maybe on a rotation basis, kind of like changing out the batteries in your smoke detector, or doing it for spring cleaning. You know, every spring comes around, boom, you go through, check stuff in the car, rotate things out as needed, do your preventative maintenance, keep things from deteriorating. That way you can save money down the long road. Instead of blowing a bunch of money on new gear, you could take that money and take it towards a training class. Or you could, you know, if you're going to be buying gear, you could pay once, cry once kind of thing, and buy some really good gear that's going to last a little bit longer. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. You can send a message as well, but prefer you leave it down in the comment section. There is no such thing as a stupid question. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.